welcome in! My name is Caylakat. In today's video, I'll give a tour of my Nordic fishing village island, Frostmore. I'm Caylakat on Twitch if you want to stop by my streams and watch me play Animal Crossing live. You think I strive to be Twitch's biggest sweetheart? No! I strive to kill everyone on this platform! I plan to take over the platform and kill everyone! Alright, let's start this tour. The tour of Frostmore. Here's the map of Frostmore. We have Grizzly, Eric, Sherb, Hans, Sprinkle, Chev, Whitney, Flo, Greta, and Eunice. Let's start our tour at the entrance. I wanted the entrance to look like a nature trail, very natural and created by foot traffic. I aimed to create the illusion that it would be a long hike to the top of the mountain. The mountain peaks, living up to their name, peeking up in the back over the trees, lends a beautiful and realistic view through the dense forest, the greenery allowing us a glimpse of the majesty opening up behind it. To the right, you'll find a staircase and a beautiful scenic view of resident services. Surrounded by brick and flowers, resident services stands bright and cheery to lead us on to the Arendale section of Frostmore. Arendale City, the posh jewel and heart of Frostmore, where cobblestone streets are pecked by the heels of modern young women, as the woodpeckers in the tree-dotted surrounding hills do the same. Ancient castle walls meet with designer shops, and the magic of old glistens the furs and leathers with a perpetual grace and glow. Savartona attack the elbows of latte-holding men, hoping drops of their drinks fall to the stone in order for the mice to get caffeinated, because they ask the chickens to do that for some reason.
Every school kid will tell you that the best snack in the whole world is a fresh brownie, hot, straight from the oven. Well, in
Frostmore,
these brownies, they're made with cow's blood.
Butchers make blood cake for the children at their shops, right next to a Starbucks, which makes blood cake for the children at their shops, but in a totally different way. A metaphoric way, in which addition to the worst coffee on the planet by gilding it with sweet syrups and cream is the bloody cake of capitalism, wherein the sweetness hides the blood of evil. Chev is said to be a descendant of royal sorcerers. She always likes to build snowmen and thinks love is an open door, but fails to provide any magic when asked to prove her lineage. Little does she know, the key to unlocking her ice powers lies within herself, and all she has to do is forgive her hairstylist for making her bangs too short that one time, and stop commenting on her TikToks. Let it go, Chev. Let it go. Now we're back in the main square. Next to Chev's house, we have a little walkway to get to a new part of the city. I layered in a lot of castle walls, fit for an ice queen. Cold blues and relatively light-colored bricks let you know the island is cold, but welcoming and clean. Now we're going to Grizzly's area. Grizzly is a man's man, or a bear's bear. He loves his job as a lumberjack, but sometimes to make extra money, chops down marked and protected old-growth trees, which is illegal.
We pay for the right to take those trees.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got news for you. Your logging crew is taking trees that nobody has a right to, trees that are marked and protected. So don't talk to me about breaking the law.
Once, in doing this illegal logging, he released an ancient and perhaps mutated insect colony from the inner rings of an 800-year-old tree.
Well, maybe what we're dealing with isn't a mutation at all. What if it's some kind of extinct insect larvae in that ring? Deposited during a period of volcanic activity, brought up through the tree's root system, ancient insect eggs. Thousands, maybe millions of years old, lying dormant until
those loggers cut down that tree.
Grizzly felt bad, but with the extra money he made, he bought a new PC to run Baldur's Gate 3. FBI agents killed the bugs. Let's make our way to the inn. Relax at the inn, where there's vodka and sausage. Also fire, singing, a tavern with beer, an attic to look at, and also smash burgers are available off menu and only 14 are made per night. There's no bathrooms or beds. You have to get an Airbnb. I guess it's more of a tavern than an inn, but you can sleep in the attic if you get wasted. There's also a tailor shop on the right, so if you get wasted and tear your clothes apart, we'll fix them. Of course, upstairs is the attic. This is one of my favorite builds to make when you have a lot of random stuff and you don't know what to do with it. Just throw it together and make an attic. Downstairs, we have a cozy bar/restaurant, carrying through with those red-brown tones and adding in a bit of green. Let's walk on over to the next part of Arendale. On the eastern side of Arendale, we have some restaurants, markets, and a fishing port. This is also where Whitney and Greta live. Whitney runs Noma and Fitch, a new Nordic restaurant and pants store. Taste seal carpaccio with pine needles and cream, while trying on $547 mom jeans, or have 18-year-old herring with pine needles and cream while trying on $742 boyfriend jeans. Your boyfriend will love the pine needles and cream latte while he sits and waits for you to try on the boyfriend jeans in our amazing boyfriend chair waiting area.
What's your favorite position?
From the back.
From
From the back.
Greta is an old lady who doesn't really like new Nordic cuisine. She would much rather have a blood cake than seal carpaccio with pine needle cream. Greta sets up a stand and sells real food at night for people leaving the fancy restaurants who are obviously still hungry. Her traditional cooking, with recipes passed down in her family for generations, is what keeps her stand with a line down the block of locals. Now we're entering the fishing village. The fishing port of Arendale is what drives Frostmore's economy outside of the tourist season. The tourist season being 4 days a year in July when there aren't any blizzards. Frostmore sharks, known as Greenland sharks in other dimensions, are caught and left to rot in the sun and become a delicacy that sells in large amounts to the locals, and one tourist who is an obese walrus. Puffins and Arendale gulls, seagulls who shoot ice beams, follow the ships back into port, hoping to get a scrap of fish being butchered and maiming many fishermen with their ice beams. Insurance agents of Frostmore have a term for this: fishermen ice-beamed by gull, and refuse insurance to fishermen and birds alike. Flo runs a bait shop for tourists. She has a hard time not eating everything in her shop, so she has timed locks on all the cages containing the various baits that only open during business hours. Or, if she's at least 3 meters away from her shop, the fishermen use self-serve buckets. Back here, we have Nook's Cranny. Nook's Cranny sells all odds and ends. Sometimes they have a toilet for sale, sometimes a plate with a meal on it already made for some reason. They're insane and cute. Here on Frostmore, Nook's Cranny also sells fishing supplies. You'll find lots of boats, fishing coolers, fishing rods, anything you need to go fishing. To the left of it, you'll find the secret beach. Sprinkle runs a local ice fishing business where she rents out huts and rods and baits to tourists. Some fish found in the lakes of Frostmore are Frostmore pikes, frost-mouthed bass, chicken of the sea, and barboach. The record for the largest barboach in the world was set by Sprinkle herself, but the Guinness Book of World Records won't count it because she caught it in her mouth while swimming, as opposed to a rod and reel. This is the area outside of Sprinkle's house. Lots of areas to fish for barboach. Now we're gonna go kind of a weird way and backtrack to resident services and start the tour for the other half of the island. There is a way next to Sprinkle's house to get around to it, but I think it's more dramatic this way. While I am walking, I wanted to let everyone know that if you or a loved one has kissed a chicken on Frostmore in the past 4 weeks, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Exposure to any kind of chicken may put you at risk. Please don't wait. Call now. So, next to resident services, we have a double staircase and a lookout of a hiking trail nature area. This lookout is an awe-inspiring place to take in the beauty of this gem of a Nordic island. Now it's time to go to the left of resident services to tour the other half of the island. Here we have a frozen lake view with lots of trees, rocks, and wheat fields surrounding it. The trees in the back almost look a little sunken, and I think all the layering and depth looks really cool here. In this area, we have some nature trails. Take a stroll upon our nature trail while lake gazing and mist hazing. the Natural History Museum of Frostmore, as well as the Research Center of Ancient Mutant Man-Eating Bugs released by Grizzly at Frostmore is nearby. They each have gift shops. I went to Frostmore and survived the Ancient Mutant Man-Eating Bugs released by Grizzly, but my wife didn't. And I love fishing t-shirt. Now we're approaching Eric's reindeer farm. Locals dash to Eric's reindeer farm for local products. Eric never sells the reindeer for meat, but their milk is sold as a specialty. It's used to make local cheese and other dairy products, like the cheese curd pancakes from Eunice's sauna. Eric makes splinstas filled with cream that will make even the most wild vixen get touched by Cupid's arrow and settle with the dawn that gives it to her. Villagers dance and prance around with their reindeer milk glass jars, which makes great decorations for the home and are a local keepsake and tourist favorite. My friend Rudolph is an astronaut, and I hope he doesn't get killed by a comet. Now we're approaching Eunice's sauna. Eunice's family has owned the sauna for over 420 years. It's said her mix of herbs thrown into the burning wood creates a special steam that makes you extra hungry for her butter-grilled freshwater fish and her mouth-watering grilled cheese curd pancakes, topped with cloudberry jam and fresh cloudberries.
It smell like a hamburger.
Cloudberry.
Oh, now there is quite many cloudberries.
Oh, this is awesome.
Cloudberries thrive in bogs and marshy meadows of the far northern hemisphere.
Now it's the time when the Kuusamo people get like a fever when they can see so many cloudberries, so they want to go to running to the swamp and picking up the berries.
I've never seen a cloudberry.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's awesome. Giant grilled cheese curd pancake with cloudberries. Need I say more?
Here is the campsite next to Eunice's sauna. Please do not light a fire in the tent, as this mistake has killed many American tourists. Let's check out the fjord. It's the lifeblood of the region. The waters of Mother Earth cut into the Great Scar, like a mark of age and bravery on our great Frostmore. Sherb wanted to get away from the city life, so he moved into the most remote town he could find, in the most remote area of said town, right on the fjord. His closest neighbor is Hans, which tells you a lot. He immediately regretted his decision and also bought a studio downtown because he gets scared of being alone at night. Hans used to masquerade as Bigfoot. Bigfoots are Yetis, but they're rare in the area and Yetis are not. And Bigfoots are American, and he carried a fake gun and screamed, "Not my president!" to be extra scary in order to chase off tourists. It wasn't until a vacationing group of young Americans and their dogs tricked him into getting caught into a net right in the middle of downtown, where they removed his Melissa McCarthy mask in front of a crowd, showing everyone it wasn't the horrific American monster Bigfoot, it was just Hans the Yeti. He apologized and said he just wanted some peace and quiet, so the community agreed not to kill him, which is the law for pretending to be a Yeti. But since there were Americans around, they couldn't, and instead they gave him a house far up the hill where he can't hear any tourists.
In summer, land of the midnight sun. And in winter, well, much less of it. With lakes formed by prehistoric glaciers, primeval forests everywhere, reindeer and brown bears roaming wild, and of course, there's fish.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tour. Don't forget, I'm Caylakat on Twitch if you want to stop by my Animal Crossing live streams. You can check out my socials in the description box below and join our lovely Discord community to make lots of Animal Crossing friends and to get notifications when I go live on Twitch. I have other videos up on my YouTube channel of other islands I've made, so feel free to check those out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!